Good morning, everyone. So, we end up with, issues. Just as I'm trying to get everything going for the day, I get up, I get around, and I find out that we have no internet. Yay. Actually, I had internet when I first got up. Then it was, I guess probably an hour or 2 hours. Then suddenly nothing would work. And I was playing with it and knocking things around and finally figured out there's just no internet. So played around with the router for 30 minutes before I called in for support. And support finally got my internet restarted. I guess it was a hard issue. I don't know. Whatever they do. Not my job. That's why I pay somebody else for that. But we're ready to get started. Let me grab my roll here real quick. This one's the 1960D roll. It's a Wells Fargo bank roll. San Francisco, California. Haven't seen one like this before, so this will be really interesting. And Wanda is going to get the first coin. Don't know what any of the coins look like. I did kind of take a peek at the ends of the roll, and it looks like a decent roll. Like there's not a lot of spotting or brown or any of that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Now these names were put in these flip inserts completely at random, just as usual. So I want to see if there's any duplication, like one name right after the same name. Because it's just interesting. I'd like a statistician to give me what the odds of that happening are. And who knows, maybe if it's something that's scarce, we could end up doing a prize or something like that. Because this is about the same thing as me drawing them out of a hat. In fact, it's pretty much just as random as drawing them out of a hat. No more rolls to mail out lots. I've got a few boxes that don't have matches right now, but I think they don't have matches because they were unpaid invoices. But other than that, I mailed them all out yesterday. Are we talking about the ones that I'm going to be putting up for sale today? That's going to happen this afternoon. I've got my roll open. Here's the first coin out of the roll. This one's got some toning on it. See that toning right there? Yeah, we'll be looking for the RPM. Hang on. I just want to look at my toning first. All right. Here we go. Take a look. I don't see an RPM on this one. Of course, RPMs would be the... No, it's going to be roll boxes. I've got some roll boxes remaining that I need to get a graphic set up for, get a sheet set up for them. I'll probably just do them on the last auction sheet, but I've got about a half a dozen boxes left to sell. They're leftovers from previous auctions, so I have to make sure that they don't belong to somebody first. But Wanda unfortunately got a normal coin out of this. In that first go round. Here's Kevin Speaks. We're getting started just at 30 minutes late. I apologize for that. This is interesting. Let me zoom in on this little guy. Good thing I got my RPM people with me. I'm pretty sure this is an RPM, but I can't remember. What do you guys think? I'm pretty sure that's an RPM right there on the north corner. average number of names per roll. Boy, I wish I knew. I'm going to say, well, I limit it to 3 coins per person. So that would be, what is that? 12 times 3 is 36, 13, 14 times 3. That's over. 13 times 3. 13 times 3 would be 39, so 13 and a half. What do you guys think? Is that an RPM? Looking at that upper serif area. Looks like there's something going on up there. I think there's a listed RPM kind of like this. I'll try to get it so that my fingers will work around the coin. There we go. I don't know. My head is telling me RPM. That's what my head is saying. What is your head saying? I bet I know what your head is saying. It's saying, kill, kill, kill. Kill them all. You need help. You need some real help. Rotate it. Rotate. It's really not easy to do. Not when you don't have an axis to spin it on. It just turns into a shaky blob. Here we go. I'm getting motor skill training here. It's not going well. You know I'm doing this with my left hand, right? That's not the hand I write with. Kill, kill, kill. You should really watch that head of yours. It's saying some weird stuff. Maybe I should do... There we go. We're going to quit moving now. Maybe I should do video hypnosis. You're getting sleepier and sleepier. And now you feel the urge to bark like a dog. I'll hold it out. You didn't hear me saying anything. That was your head. Okay, I'll pull it out. We'll have it set aside. This one's Kevin Speaks. We'll have this set aside just in case we run into something that appears to be the same thing. I really don't know. It's just a fuzz to me, but it doesn't look normal. So because it doesn't look normal, I'm thinking, well, it could be something. This one's for Adam Chambers. Let's see if I can bring it in. There we go. Hey, there's another one. The same thing. It's the exact same thing right there. This one's got a hit on it, but it still has that same fuzz up at the top. Let me back out. Get a normal view of it. And the normal view. Let's go take a look for markers. I see all those die scratches. I'd like to find something a little more impressive for a marker, but it doesn't look like we're going to get one. You know, something like a cud that takes up a fourth of the coin. That'd be a nice marker. It doesn't look like we're going to get one, though. Let's take a look at the reverse on this one. Well, that's an interesting die scratch. That's a very interesting die scratch. Big, long, circular die scratch going 3/4 of the way around the coin. That would be a marker for sure. Here it kind of is continuing over here. That's just weird. No, this is definitely not 102. It is similar to 102 in the way it looks. Maybe that's what it reminded me of. Your probability and statistics book? Oh. That'd be nice to have one of those. Hey, look at this. It's another one. Same die. Again. That's 3 coins. Well, give me a marker for 1mm158 and we'll see. This is the same thing again. See, there's our big circular die scratch. And it's on this one too. I have no idea what that... I've not seen one like that before. Well, this one belongs to Bulldog. Jeff Dunn will pick up the next coin. Let's see if Jeff Dunn gets one too. No. This one's entirely different. I believe, you know, that looks like 21, but it's not heavy enough to be 21. Okay, somebody help me with what this is. Is this one an RPM? And now for something completely different, yet exactly the same. Hang on. I'm not seeing the curve. All I'm seeing is a straight up and down bit. Just a piece. Certainly looks like an RPM. I mean, it looks anomalous. There's not another scratch or gouge or anything like that in the area. Well, I'm going to hold this out as die number 2, I suppose, because this definitely looks like something. It's definitely a raised mark. So it looks like this one could be an RPM as well. It is later dice date, so it's a little squishy. Doesn't quite look as sharp as it probably was at one point in time. But that's okay. I'm kind of squishy too. I don't look quite as sharp as I did at one point in time. Alright. Oh, we're going to hold that as die number 2 for the roll. Take a look at another coin. We've got another one of the die 1 things. A little fluffaluppagus at the top of the mint mark there. So we're nothing but consistent. We've got our big scratch again. It's like one of the best die markers I've ever seen. Huge die scratch. This one's for Bulldog. I think he already got one of these. This makes the second one for him, I think. Let's see. Kevin, Adam, Bulldog, and Bulldog. Yep, so Bulldog got 2 of those. Let's take a look at the next coin. This one's Jeff Dunn. And Jeff Dunn gets another one. Very interesting. We've got This is the 7th coin, and 6 of them are RPMs or suspected. We'll go with that, suspected RPMs. This one should have a big curved die crack on it too, or die scratch, I'm sorry. And there it is. The other one is, it is not 21, because I think 21 is quite a bit stronger than that. So I've seen a number of number 21s. I've seen a number of number 21s, and they just don't match up. Wow, a different die. It's a different die altogether. Although it doesn't appear to be anything. Nope. Nothing on the obverse there. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what happened on the reverse. As it does not appear to be anything out of the ordinary, so got a little bit of a ching clash going on there in Bay 8. Nothing other than that. That's coin number 8. So far our normal coins are exactly 2 coins, number 1 and number 8. And, well, maybe number 9. Number 9 is going to Jim Fletcher. Yeah. Nothing on the obverse. Let's check out the reverse real quick. Big, giant bird's nest up there on the top of the cornice. That's interesting. Looks like an eagle's nest. This will be the eagle's nest coin. Got a bubble on the E. Little die chip there on the E of 1. I'm looking at it and can't tell you which one it is. Alright. Yeah, and the line is different too. The other one has a little ball on top of it, and this one doesn't. That's coin number 9. Let's take a look at coin number 10 for Adam Connor. Is that another? That's another one. We are very easily consistent. Nothing but consistency. Another big rounded die scratch there. So Adam Connor gets one of those die number 1 coins. Now back to Jim Fletcher. Have another different RPM here, it appears. Getting close to this one too. Can't really tell for sure what we're looking at. Yeah, maybe it's not. I thought I saw a split on the inside of the vertical, and that's just like a little hit on the mint mark. So I guess we've got nothing. Got to move on. Let's see. Nothing on the I. Nothing in God We Trust. Nothing in Liberty. So, move to the reverse. And here we go. Got nothing there. And that's for Jim Fletcher. Coin numero 11. Now for number 12 for Jeff Stanley. There's another one. If this does turn out to be an RPM, everybody's going to get one. And get a lot of them. Alright, nothing else on the obverse on that one. Let's take a look at the reverse. And we should have our die scratch again. There it is. Big die scratch. Well, do we have a consensus yet? It appears that it could be an RPM. Are we just going to call it an RPM and move on? I have an idea that's what's happened in the past at times. That looks different. Must be an RPM. We'll just list it. I know of a few of them that I'm having a hard time figuring out exactly whether it's an RPM or not, but somebody else evidently did something to figure it out. There's another one. I don't know what we're running into here, but we've got a lot of them. We've got a lot of them, that's for sure. There's another curved die scratch there. So whatever it is we've got going on, we've got a lot of them. We got some ciphering to do here. Figure this guy out. I'll probably have to take a photo of it up close and determine whether or not it's an RPM. So for right now, don't get all excited about it. This is not another one of those. This one is a normal mint mark. Alright. Nothing there. And that one's for Deanne. Coin number 14. Now coin number 15. There's another one. Yeah, something inside the D would definitely speak to me. That's for sure. As it is, it just looks like a glob on the top of the mint mark. That's what I saw when I brought it in close anyway. Looked like it was just a glob on the top of the mint mark. And this is not another one of those. So it appears to not be an RPM at all. Let's see if we have a double die maybe. There are double dies known for 1960D. Not very common, but they're known. Good morning, Fox Run Forge. If it is morning, it's still morning here. It's 11:50. In the morning. I hope your morning has not been as exciting as my morning. My morning was all about trying to get my internet up. I spent over an hour and a half working on my internet. I usually get up around 9 o'clock in the morning. I got up this morning, made my coffee, and came in here. I had internet for a while. There's another one. I had internet for a while, and then it just kind of blinked out on me. Good day, Hawkeye. And there's the die scratch. We're finding a large number of these anomalous coins. Not sure exactly what it is, but here's what the mint mark looks like. Is that fuzz stuff on the top of the D mint mark? And it looks to me like any one of the anomalous mint marks that we have for 1960D. And There are a few of them listed that have oddball things going on like this. And this particular one doesn't appear to be listed, which would mean we would have to list it anew. But I can tell you that I've got plenty of examples of it to work from. This is coin number 17, and so far, just so far in this roll, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. So 10 of 17, that's more than half. So Adam Connor gets the next coin. This is another one of die number 2. It's a nice little stretchy D thingy coming up out of the top of the mint mark. Still not sure what this is. We're going to try to get some markers here for Miss Jessica. She said she would be able to identify it if she had markers. So we're going to go with that. It looks like a die crack across the head. I thought maybe I saw an angled die gouge underneath the vest, or underneath the bust. No, I don't see it anymore. That's what I thought it was. Is that a fuzzy or a die crack? Let me check, because I don't see the colors. I can't tell you if it's a fuzzy or a die crack until I wipe it. It was a fuzzy. A fuzzy sitting on the coin. That's all I've got, it looks like. Just a little die crack on it. Yeah, a little die crack. Hairline die crack running through the hair. Hello, Bill. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this one's going to turn out being an RPM. Don't think we have it listed yet. I think it's a new one. Whatever it is, it's nice. I wish Wexler would do something about finishing his 1960D RPMs. It would help answer a lot of questions. Alright, so that's coin number 18. We're going to stick it on the die number 2 pile, and then we're going to move on to Farm Dog's coin. Hang on, I just heard a crash in the house. I'll be right back. Large picture fell off the wall and shattered, but nobody was injured except the picture. So, a little bit of excitement for the household this morning. Okay, this one appears to be normal. Yeah, it was a 16 by 20 frame. Really nice poster of a pelican that we got in Florida. And it appears that the image itself is fine. We'll be able to just replace the glass. So everything should be okay. It was just a matter of, wow, that was a loud crash noise. So I went in my wife's office, and she's standing there looking at shattered glass all over the floor. No, we're still going to be moving it. That was a really nice picture. So we're just going to have it reframed. No big deal. It'll all come out in the wash. Yo, man. Yo, man gets the next coin. And the next coin is... it appears to be a normal mint mark. No doubling on the date. Take a look at the reverse real quick. Got nothing there either. Now for Mike Birchman. There's another one. Nice little fuzzy looking thing on the top serif. We're going to call that very likely an RPM. Work on trying to get that figured out and possibly listed if it turns out that I believe it's an RPM after looking at it under a good stereoscope. But we have a lot of these. We're at or over a dozen of these in this roll now. Has a heck of a marker on the reverse. It's a big giant curved die scratch. My internet poltergeist? Gosh, I hope not. And if it is, it can stay in this house. We're leaving. Wanda. Next coin goes to Wanda. And it's not another one. This one appears to be a normal coin. One of the few that we found in this roll. So you can be assured that you are a minority in this little group right here. You get the normal coins. So I think we found 10 or 12 normal coins in this roll. Less than half. But the bird's going with us. There's no reason for it to be mad. It's going to get a new home. Now it's going to get a new piece of glass and a new home. I was so mad. I did a really nice watercolor one time. That was coin number 22. Now coin number 23 is Yo Man. I did a really nice watercolor painting. There's another one. Of Emmitt Smith, running back of the Dallas Cowboys. Did it for a friend. And I had it framed. And just before I was to give it to him, the glass in the frame broke. Punched a hole in the painting. I don't even have an image of that painting right now. It was a very nice watercolor painting. Very highly detailed dry brush. Looked almost like a photograph. It was really nice. That's coin number 23. Now for coin number 24. Going back to Mike Birchman. There's another one. Whatever it is, we have a number of them. We have no shortage of these. Good morning, Bulldog. Another big curved die scratch there for you. That's the marker. My ISP Google Fiber. I'm in one of the few places in the United States that you can get Google Fiber. I haven't seen this die before. Not in this roll. Very thin, wispy looking D. And nothing else to speak of. But it is a new die for the roll at coin number 25, sorry. Coin number 25. Now, I would doubt our problems were related. You're in Texas. Completely different service area anyway. John Brandon Bow. Well, JBB gets a normal mint mark. See what the reverse has on it. Looks like not much. So there's John Brandon Bow, coin number 26, and we are officially more than halfway through the roll. Here's coin number 27. There's another one. One of our anomalous little thingies on the top of the mint mark. And we'll have our big giant nice curved die scratch on the reverse. This, folks, will go to show you how the population in a roll is not necessarily even, ever. This also shows you how you can go through a roll and only find one RPM or one double die, because you think if this was a normal die and we were going through this many of them in a roll, some of the other dies would have very low representation, because this particular one, we're up close to 15 of them, I'm sure. We've had other rolls like that 1936S roll that we had 15 of RPM number 1. There's a nifty little lamination peel going on right there. You got the peel still sitting on the coin. This is very interesting. It's the Mushmouth Lincoln. Flip it over and see what we got on the other side before I carefully put it into a holder to be sure not to wipe that surface flake off. But when we're talking about die distribution within a roll, you would think if you got 7 different die pairs, you would have roughly 7 coins per die pair in the roll. Well, we're showing that that could be busted wide open with one single possible RPM. There's another normal one here. And so basically I'm only saying that the distribution of coins per roll or per die within a roll are never necessarily going to be even. So when you go through a roll and you only find one of an RPM, don't automatically assume that your roll has been searched and they just missed one of them. Because then you've got other cases like this where you're really heavy on 1 RPM. Because that other one with the line sticking up north out of the mint mark, we've only got 2 of those. Okay, this is another non-variety. We just saw this die. We just saw this one. So let me flip it over and see what happened on the other side. Got nothing going on there. This one's for Mike Birchman, coin number 30. Here's coin number 31 for Sureg. And it's another one of the same die. Nothing again. Kelly Ray. Have a roll of 1960D. The BER filled in a bunch in roll, then tapers to just ER, then goes to just R in Liberty. Very likely that you don't have that kind of progression of one die in a single roll if it's an original roll. that kind of stuff takes longer than one roll to progress like that. So if it's an original roll, you likely have different dies. If it's not an original roll, then someone went to a lot of trouble to try to put that together into a roll, which is very possible. There's not a whole lot of premium value associated with those. There's another one. Primarily because, well, there's breaks in the letters in a number of dies. So it is an OBW roll. Yeah, your chances of that sort of thing occurring in an OBW roll is kind of slim for it to be one die. Are you positive that it's one die all the way through? You've got markers to show that it's all the same die? There's another one of our thin Ds. This one's normal. No RPM. And if it is a progression, the progression is exactly opposite the way you mentioned it. It would be the R first, then the ER, then the BER. Because when those things develop on a die, they don't go away. They only get worse. Oops, wrong side. Here's for DN. And DN gets... It's like a normal one. It's normal. Maybe. Now I'm looking at the inside of the D. Let me check it with my loop. My trusty loop, which has evaded capture this morning. Well, my loop didn't go back to its nail last night. Oh, looky there. Ended up in my pocket. I don't know how that happened. Okay. What I thought might be a horizontal bar inside the lower mint mark is not. That's just part of the bevel. A lot of shine on the coin. Yeah, I'm thinking, Kelly Ray, I'm thinking what you've got are different dies with similar anomalies. It takes a long time and a lot of effort to put together a progression set of die chips like that. They're very interesting when you do get them, because it shows how a single die broke over time. But the likelihood that you would find all of those from one die in a single roll is very, very slim. Alright, next coin in the roll, Sureg. And Sureg gets... it's going to be a normal coin, I think. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the design. And then the reverse. Okay, got nothing going on there. No, they're not error coins. Die chips are very expected out of the minting process. They're quite common. See them a lot. progression of a single set of chips on one single die could bring some premium. But individual ones, no. Just too common. So here's another one. Die number 1 for the roll. Don't see much happening on it other than that mint mark. And then on the reverse, we should have our big long curved die scratch right there. Oh, I'm sure they are beautiful. Are these small date or large date? You said 1960D. Farm dog. Yeah, I was kind of afraid you'd say that. Small date. Small date, they are far, far more common than with any other date. That's the reason they changed from the small date to the large date in 1960. It's because the design was such that the dies kept chipping and breaking. So they changed them out. I can't remember if I said this was one of them or not. No. No, not one of them. That's coin number 37. Moving on to coin number 38 for Joe McBride. Not another one of the RPMs. This is a normal one. The main thing on both large and small date to look for, that's really just kind of a wide open question that has a whole lot of answers. There really isn't one main thing. That's the issue. There are a few double die obverses known. There are a few RPMs, repunchment marks known. There's over 200 different ones actually. Nothing much known for the reverse, but don't skip your reverses just because there's nothing much known. Just in case you happen to be the very first person to run across a really nice double die reverse and you don't even check them because you've been told not to. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. You don't want to skip over anything just because nothing's been discovered. Skipping over them simply means that nothing will be discovered. You just have to look. You look for anything doubled, anything out of the ordinary, anything that has extra width to it. Now the small dates, the 1960D small dates don't really have a good reason for going for more because they were minted for quite some period of time. But it was my understanding that the 1960 Philadelphia small dates were all minted within a couple of days. They didn't stay on the press as long, so there were not very many minted. And that's been known since 1960, and people have chased those since 1960. So most of the rolls and bags have been pulled. They went into private hands probably mostly before 1970. And now, if you want 1960 small date, you pretty much have to get them from someone who wants to let them go because you're likely not to find them. Not very many of them circulated, but some did. So there is some chance that you could find them in circulation, but they're going to be rare as hen's teeth in circulation. They're not very valuable. They're not overly valuable. They're $100 a roll. The thing about that is that if you want a roll of 1970s small dates, you're going to pay over $1,000 for them. So, being that they're $100 a roll doesn't make them rare. They're just unusual. You've got around 12 small dates or 12 rolls. Then my follow-up question would be, are they D-mint mark or not? So you got 12 cents. So are they D-mint mark or Philadelphia? Because if they're Philadelphia and they're nice, uncirculated ones, they're worth somewhere around $5 a piece, $5 to $6 a piece. If you got Denver ones, they're worth 20 cents. The Denver small dates are not worth much. And that's what most people have. If I get on the internet and I'm telling them I'm looking for 1960 small date rolls, invariably I'll get 10 or 15 people come to me saying, "Oh, I've got rolls. How many do you need?" Are they Denver or Philadelphia? "Oh, let's see. These are Denver mint." "Yeah, I don't need them. I'm looking for Philadelphia." I haven't had any issue with the Deller's Darkener thing. That is interesting. I've seen a few spotty rolls, but I haven't seen dark rolls. I have, probably 12 or 13 rolls of them right now. I paid generally between $75 and $125 each for my rolls. You got 5 rolls of the 60p, and these are small dates. 09 VDB and XF is about a $5 coin. Not much. So they're small date. Not bad. The ones that I have, some of them are kind of toned and some of them are not. Thing is most of these were put in the tubes back in 1960, and then they were put in storage. So it depends on the tube they're in, depends on where they were stored and how, as to how much they're going to turn. Here's another die number 1. Kelly Ray, anytime you got a question, just ask it out. I don't have any issue at all with answering general questions about coins. Even during my broadcasts like this one, where things are a little bit slower. Here's one for Jeff Dunn. And it's another one. It's our die 1 for the roll. A little blob on the top of the mint mark. A bunch of north and south die scratches on the obverse. And it's got one really big, long, curved die scratch on the reverse. If I can find it. There it is. I still look at both sides of every coin, because you never know when you're going to run into one that's a full brockage or something. Very strange coin. Never know when you're going to hit that. Always got a chance to. Got a bunch of these things in this roll, though. We've only got 5 coins left in the roll. This is one of them. This is Polehampton right here. And on this one, we're not going to find anything out of the ordinary, it appears. I keep looking around. Nope, normal so far. Probably going to be normal on the reverse, too. And yep, normal on the reverse too. Well, Eric, now it's like I feel hexed, because I've got I think 4 rolls of mine are original bank wrap rolls that I haven't opened. Don't know what's there. Now you just got me dark coins by mentioning it. Thank you very much. You're a true brother. But it is true that the red on the 60p small dates that I've been putting in my 1960 sets, it's a little darker than the other 3 coins when it's in the set. That much is true. I have noticed that. But I thought that was mainly just due to tube storage. Two coins remain. The first one goes to Adam Chambers. And this is another one of our normal 1960D Lincoln cents. And we'll take a look at the reverse. It's 12:22 in the afternoon on Sunday. Today's the 12th of July, 2020. And now for your headlines. No, I'm not doing the news. No more news. A lot of cracks on foreheads. That's going to be a very normal thing from about 1953, 54, all the way up through about 1963. It's just something that happened a lot. Has to do with how they hardened the dies back during that period of time. Got 2 coins left. Jinx. I already said that. I had 3 coins. They were just perfectly stacked. So, give me a break. So now we have exactly 2 coins left. This is one of those 2 coins. And this one happens to be a normal one. And this one goes to Kevin Speaks. Okay, got nothing there. And Paul Hampton's going to get coin number 50. Paul Hampton will get the end of the roll. Well, let's take a look at what we have on the end of the roll. This one's got some toning on it because it is the end of the roll. And boy, I'm going to have to wipe this one just to be able to tell what's going on. Hang on just a second here. And wipe. I'm just dusting it. That's all. I'm just taking the loose grime off. Okay, nothing on that one. Got nothing here. Looks like a normal coin to me. Yeah, Steel Horses has it on the head. For searching rolls, if you're just doing it like with a loop, 10x loop should be fine. If you're using a microscope, set it somewhere around 10 to 15x. You don't need more. Any more than that, you're just basically looking for fly specks, and over concentration is just as bad as not concentrating enough. Okay, so we turned out with just about half the roll, a little more than half the roll is normal coins. That's this right here. And then for die number, we only got 2 of die number 2, but for die number 1, we ended up with 45, 44, 36, 32, 27, 24, 23, 21, 17, 15, 13, 12, 10, 7, 6, 4, 3, and 2. That is, for these people, $18 coins. Hang on, I got Jeff's name in here backwards. It's going to make a difference later. I'm going to stick it around the right side up. There we go. Name has to read from the top of the pocket toward the bottom of the pocket. That's just the way I sort these things. You should see me floor sorting these things before I get ready to send them out. It's a circus. Tell you what, if you find any dog hair in yours, just feel lucky. And then I've got these two. These two coins are the die number 2 for the roll, which has that funny looking stick coming out of the northern part of the RPM. And there's number 18 and number 5. Oh, you got a case of blueberries. I want blueberries. Okay, Jessica has her auction list out for this afternoon. We're going to be doing it this afternoon at 6 p.m. Central Time. 6 p.m. Central Time is going to be a really nice auction. She's got a list out there for it. She's got a whole lot of new inventory to work with. And we're going to be doing reveals today. Just did the Wells Fargo Bank 1960D roll, and then at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, which is in about an hour and a half from now, we're going to be looking at another 1960D roll. This one's going to be Fed Reserve Bank of Cleveland. And then at 5 p.m., we have a 1945D roll coming up. Done a few 1945D rolls now, and most of them have been producing some pretty decent stuff, so you don't want to miss that. And then next on the list will be 1959D, but that'll be tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, provided I actually have internet connection. But we'll be doing 1959D, Fed Reserve Bank of Seattle. And then at 2 o'clock tomorrow, I have a 1942D plastic tube roll. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening will be our last roll before my move. The last roll before my move will be a 1953D Fed Reserve Bank of Cleveland roll. I am not doing an auction until it's going to be about mid-August when I get into a new auction. But I will be selling a few box lots today as I go around the office and start digging out some of my stuff to pack. And I may actually come on and sell some, random individual things as I keep moving along in my purpose of packing to get out of here. I may run into some stuff I don't want to move, that I'd rather sell and move to you for you to enjoy, because I don't have a place for it. But that'll be hit and miss. I don't know if I'll be doing any of that or not, and if I do, I don't know how much of it. But I do have 5 or 10 box lots that I'll be selling this afternoon. So you guys, I want to make sure to let you know so you'll have an opportunity to be around and bid on those. It's going to be regular auction style. It'll be this afternoon. It'll be just on a few of the box lots that I've got left over from the stuff that I've been running lately. So I found an extra box number 16 from the last auction. So I'm going to have to get those out, and I'm going to have to get out my auction format stuff and show you what I've got and let you guys bid on them as a mini auction this afternoon. Yeah, they're heavy. Tell me they're heavy. I moved 5 pallets of pennies up here from Florida. There were 1,600 pounds of pallet. There were 5 of them. So, yeah, they are heavy. All right, folks, no auction coming up this next Tuesday, so get what you're going to get from Jessica. She's going to continue running auctions throughout the period of time where I'm down because I'm moving. So you guys make sure that you tune in on Sunday afternoon, 6 p.m. Central Time. That's because she's going to be the one who's selling everything for the Copper Coins channel for the next at least 3 to 4 weeks. Probably more than that, because I'm going to be taking this time to try packing, try get my stuff together, get there, get unpacked, get myself set up and ready to broadcast. Where in Florida are you, Kelly Ray? I might be able to leave some at your house still yet. My dad lives in Florida. I go down there on a infrequent but relatively regular basis. Considering that we're in the middle of this whole COVID scare now, I'm not going down there. But Tampa Bay area, my dad lives in Manatee County. I used to live in Manatee County myself, and that's just south of Tampa Bay. So I lived in Bradenton for close to 10 years. Well, see, there you go. We have something in common. We both lived in the same general area. Welcome to the channel, and I wish you well in your collecting endeavors. If you have any questions, just ask. We'll get them answered for you. If I don't have time to answer them, somebody in my audience will. Got a lot of knowledgeable collectors in my audience. All right, folks, well, I'm going to get moving. I've got to get a few things done before I start the next broadcast. And, well, the next broadcast is coming up in an hour and a half. So be here with me, and we'll continue our chat then. Until then, be well, folks.